Once upon a time, in a distant village, there lived a man whose livelihood depended on his vast field. It was a crisp morning when he set out on his usual journey to tend to his crops. As he walked along the narrow path, a sudden movement caught his eye. Swift as lightning, he managed to seize a mischievous rat, its beady eyes darting about in panic. Without a second thought, the man decided to take the rat back home with him. Perhaps he saw it as an opportunity for an amusing pet, or a chance to test his resourcefulness. Carefully cradling the rat in his hands, he envisioned creating a cozy abode for it within the confines of a box. Days passed, and curiosity got the better of the man. Gingerly lifting the lid of the box, he gazed inside, only to be struck with disbelief. The rat, which had once scampered in the fields, had transformed into an enchanting young girl. Her radiant beauty and graceful presence left the man awestruck. In that moment, a gleam of a cunning idea sparked in the man's mind. If he could marry this extraordinary girl to the most esteemed man in the world, his own fortune would surely soar to great heights. Determined to fulfill his ambitious plan, he resolved to find the perfect husband for the transformed rat. With newfound purpose, the man embarked on a quest, seeking an audience with the mighty king. Humbly, he approached the monarch, expressing his desire for his daughter's hand in marriage. The man spoke highly of the girl's remarkable transformation and emphasized that the king was, in his eyes, the greatest person alive. However, the king, wise and introspective, responded with a touch of humility. He acknowledged his own shortcomings, comparing himself to the power of water. The king confessed that even he, the ruler of the land, was easily swept away by the strong currents of the river. Thus he deemed the water greater than himself. Undeterred, the man, driven by his quest, sought out the flowing river. He addressed the water with the same proposition he had presented to the king. Yet again, he encountered a similar reply. The water, modest in its own right, recognized the supremacy of the wind. The gentlest of breezes could disrupt its tranquil existence, revealing the wind's superiority. Unyielding, the man now approached the ever-moving wind, eager to convince it of his daughter's worthiness. But the wind, ever aware of its limitations, declared its inferiority in the presence of the mountain. Despite its ability to influence and stir myriad elements, the wind admitted its powerlessness against the steadfast might of the towering mountain. Driven to his wits' end, the man finally confronted the formidable mountain, believing it to be the pinnacle of greatness. However, even the mountain, staunch and unyielding, acknowledged its vulnerability. It humbly conceded that a mere rat possessed the ability to traverse its formidable terrain at will. Thus, the rat, through its humble actions, held greater power and significance than the mountain itself. With no other options left and the weight of defeat settling upon him, the man returned home, his heart heavy with disappointment. To his astonishment, as he entered his dwelling, a heart-wrenching sight met his eyes. The enchanting girl, who had graced his presence just days before, had once again transformed, reverting to her former rat form. In this bittersweet revelation, the man realized the ephemeral nature of his aspirations. The fickle nature of greatness and power had played its cruel hand, returning the girl to her humble origins. And so, with a mixture of regret and resignation, the man accepted the impermanence of his ambitions, knowing that true greatness lies not in external appearances or lofty pursuits, but in the simplicity and authenticity of one's own being.